Why do so many of our great ideas die before they even start? Is it a lack of money? A lack of skill? Or is it something far more subtle? Something we do to ourselves without even realizing it? This is the story of Charlie, and a powerful lesson that could change the way you pursue your dreams forever. In a small, quiet village lived a young man named Charlie. Charlie wasn't like everyone else. While others were content with their daily routines, Charlie was a dreamer. Every night, he'd stare up at the vast, star-filled sky, and a fire would ignite within him. He felt a deep certainty that he was destined for something more, something great. He just needed to find what that was. One bright morning, as the sun cast its golden rays over the village, an idea sparked in Charlie's mind. It was brilliant in its simplicity. He would start a small business. He'd cultivate a garden, grow the most beautiful fresh vegetables, and sell them at the bustling town market. The vision was so clear, so vibrant. He could almost smell the fresh earth and hear the happy chatter of customers. Excitement surged through him, an unstoppable wave of pure energy. He felt like he was on top of the world. And what do we do when we feel that kind of excitement? We share it. Charlie couldn't contain his joy. He ran to tell his friends, his neighbors, even the familiar faces at the local tea shop. He painted a vivid picture of his plan, his eyes shining with passion. "I'm going to grow the best vegetables this town has ever seen," he declared. At first, the reactions were positive. Smiles and nods greeted him. "Wow, Charlie, that's a fantastic idea," they'd say. "You'll do great." These words were like fuel to his fire, making him even more certain of his path. He felt validated, supported, but that initial wave of encouragement didn't last long. Soon, the smiles turned into smirks, and the nods turned into shakes of the head. The whispers of doubt began to creep in. One older man, a regular at the tea shop, scoffed over his cup. "You don't have a single coin to your name, Charlie. How on earth do you plan to start a business? It takes money, you know." His words were like a small, sharp stone hitting Charlie's confidence. Then another neighbor, leaning over his fence, added his 2 cents. "Farming? It's too hard, son. The weather is unpredictable. The pests are relentless. You'll work yourself to the bone, and you'll fail. Mark my words." This stone was bigger, heavier. The chorus of negativity grew louder. "Why don't you just get a normal job like everyone else?" someone suggested. "Stop chasing these silly dreams. Be realistic." Each word was another blow, chipping away at his beautiful vision, turning his vibrant dream into a gray, fragile thing. The energy that had propelled him forward began to drain away, replaced by a cold, heavy feeling of doubt. Charlie's once bright spirit began to dim. He'd lie in bed at night, but instead of looking at the stars with hope, he'd see the doubting faces of his neighbors. Their voices echoed in his mind. "Maybe they're right," he'd whisper to the darkness. "Maybe I really can't do it. Who am I to think I could succeed?" The fire in his heart flickered, and then almost completely went out. He stopped working on his plan. The corner of his yard he had cleared for his garden became overgrown with weeds. The dream was dead. Months drifted by in a haze of mediocrity. Charlie fell into the routine he had so desperately wanted to avoid. He did odd jobs, earning just enough to get by, the spark in his eyes completely gone. The village forgot about his big idea, and so, it seemed, had Charlie. One afternoon, an old friend named Noah came to visit. Noah had always been different from the others. He was a quiet, observant man who didn't talk much, but worked with a quiet determination. He had moved to the next town over a year ago. Charlie was happy to see him, but also a little embarrassed by his own lack of progress. As they caught up, Charlie noticed a new confidence in Noah. "So what have you been up to?" Charlie asked, expecting a simple answer. Noah smiled a calm, knowing smile. "I started a small shop," he said simply. "It's doing quite well." Charlie was stunned. A shop? He couldn't believe it. A shop? When did this happen? You never told anyone about your plan. Noah's smile widened. He looked Charlie directly in the eye, and his next words would change Charlie's life forever. That's right. I didn't tell anyone. I learned something important, Charlie. When you talk too much about your plans, you give away your energy. You invite the world's opinions, its fears, and its doubts into your dream. People's words can poison your motivation and stop you before you even start. He leaned in closer. So I worked in silence. I put my head down. I faced my challenges alone, and I built my dream brick by brick. Now my shop is open. It's real. People don't need to hear about my plan. They can see my success for themselves. Noah's words hit Charlie like a lightning bolt. It was a revelation. He realized his mistake wasn't the dream itself, but in how he had handled it. He had offered up his fragile, newborn idea to a world full of critics, and they had crushed it without a second thought. He had outsourced his belief to people who didn't share his vision. That night, for the first time in months, Charlie didn't see doubting faces when he closed his eyes. He saw Noah's quiet confidence. He saw the path forward. A new resolve hardened within him. He decided to try again. But this time, it would be different. This time, he would move in silence. He didn't make a grand announcement. He didn't seek anyone's approval. The very next morning, before the sun had even risen, Charlie was outside. He quietly cleared the overgrown patch of land. Every single day, he woke up early and poured his heart into his small garden. He took on extra jobs, saving every penny he could. He bought seeds, not all at once, but little by little. He read books about farming. He learned from his mistakes, and when a plant died, he didn't tell anyone of his failure. He simply learned the lesson and planted a new one. His garden became his secret sanctuary. The quiet work, the physical labor, it didn't drain him. It fueled him. He was building something real with his own two hands, protected from the world's negativity. Months passed. The small patch of dirt transformed. It was now a lush, vibrant garden bursting with life. Rows of green, fresh vegetables stood proudly under the sun-plumped tomatoes, crisp lettuce, vibrant carrots. It was even better than he had first imagined. One morning, Charlie carefully harvested his beautiful vegetables, packed them into crates, and took them to the town market. He set up a small, humble stall. The quality of his produce spoke for itself. The colors were brilliant. The vegetables looked incredibly fresh. Soon, a crowd gathered. He sold everything, every last leaf. The villagers who had once laughed at him now stared in astonishment. They saw the empty crates and the money in his hand. The same man who had doubted him came over. "Charlie, when did you do all this? We had no idea." Charlie looked at him, a calm, powerful smile on his face, the same kind of smile he had seen on Noah. And with the quiet confidence of a man who has proven himself to himself, he said, "While you were talking, I was working." From that day on, Charlie understood a fundamental truth about achieving anything great. Work hard in silence, and let your success be the noise. Your dreams are precious and fragile. Protect them. Don't expose them to the cold winds of doubt and criticism before they've had a chance to grow strong roots. Let your results speak for you, because actions will always speak louder than words. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.